Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. The World Series is a 5-game set, tied up 1 game apiece. DBacks strike back and pretty solidly. Let's talk all about it. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. Thank you very much for joining us today after World Series game number 2 and the D-backs tie it up. It's brought to you by SeatGeek. Code JohnBoy Postseason is going to get you 10% off any ticket of your choice. Even if you've used a code before, you've purchased with that email before, 10% off for you. So head to Arizona because hopefully that place is fun as they bring the series back tied up. And before I throw it to Jake, I want to say I wasn't on the episode last night because I didn't drive in the office. I forgot I had to take the train home. It sucked. I wanted to be on it, but I didn't get a chance to thank all the subscribers. 100K. Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. The next milestone is actually 101 and we're really fucking close. So we could use some.
Out. It's a personal one for us.
Maybe even before this comes out.
Yeah. But thank you. No, honestly, very cool and appreciative. So, Jake, how are you?
Very cool. James Davis, no Trev. And the people will get no thank you from me. We gave one at the end of last step. And it's World Series time. I don't have time for that. Sal Frank, figure it out now. I'm doing well, man. I think we were... With this World Series, we're prepared for everything. If Texas came out and bombed away today, it would have been a whole episode that's like, well, I guess the Phillies just did this to the Snakes. Buckle in and let's see what Fott's got and do that whole thing. In a way, this is almost a win for both teams. The Snakes, you walk away we've kind of dominated 2 ball games. We end up with a split. Obviously, 2 would be sick. And if you're the Rangers, it's kind of we've almost lost 2 ball games and we still got one. So obviously the way that today went down, dominant. And it was good. We've been live streaming the games with Dalton. He's been in goo goo gaga land because he's one of the biggest sports fans you'll see. And he's a massive Snakes fan. So he's feeling some emotions he's literally never felt before. So today was smooth because the Diamondbacks kind of rolled, man. So I'm doing good and I'm excited. My game 5, I'll be lifeguard in the pool. It's now confirmed it'll be happening, and there will be a game 5, so I'll be out there. So I'm jazzed up.
Ooh. Are you going to be sitting in the pool lifeguarding, or is that a figure of speak?
I am not the legal lifeguard. There will be a legal lifeguard there. They are giving me lifeguard paraphernalia, or is it just finalia? Is paraphernalia
That's where you're going to sit?
I'm in the pool. Not in the pool, but I'm around the pool, guarding and protecting, like a Batman of the pool.
You're like, are they going to show the outfield and you're in a lifeguard tower, not a regular seat?
I'm going to have flexibility out there. I've got some juice with the Snakes.
You can run around the whole area.
We get a home run in the pool in game 5. We're going to have something.
You're going to jump in and save the ball?
I'm hoping more so a Jeffrey Mayer situation.
Dude, don't come up.
Let's burn this game.
Hold down there.
Yeah, you got to stay down there if you go to get a ball.
Just a little too long.
You got to make people be like, whoa, where is he?
Well, dude, it probably gets scary because other people are going to jump in. People will probably do that to you anyways.
The real life.
I'm trying not to go in the pool, if I'm being honest.
All right. Well, let's burn the game.
Yep. Game 2 in Arlington, coming off a historic Game 1. Don't mess with Texas. And stud Jordan Montgomery as they try to take a commanding 2-0 series lead against Merrill, Kelly, Kapowski as the Snakes would hope to get saved by the bell after a tough ending to Game 1. We're scoreless through 3. My oldest son, Gabriel Moreno, goes eastbound and down. Let the boy watch. Lourdes, shine down on me as it's 2-0 Snakes. Bunt, cut it in half as this Mitch, unstoppable. Garver gets his hands in. What a swing. It's 2-1. But after that, it's like a weird dark part of the aquarium. It's all Snakes. Merrill Kelly with 7 innings, 1 earned run. And the boys were bopping Longo. The old bull teaches the young calf young as he pulls one past him down the line. And the Stars put it on ice. Carroll and Marte with RBI hits. Kelly to Salfrank to Frias. Snakes dominate game 2, 9-1 final, and head back to the desert, tied at 1-1.
Big game. I have if the D-backs win and Lovello comes on the show or something, he's in such a good mood, we're like, hey, hop on, let's chat. I'm very curious what happened the first couple games versus the Phillies. Like, how come you guys forgot you steal? Because they did it game 1. They only got 1 stolen base today, which I believe makes them 18 for their last 18. Tommy Pham did get picked off. I don't think that ruins the stolen base streak, but they also bunted 3 times, Jake.
Yeah.
And 2 of the 3 led to the runner they moved to second scoring. And one of the times it was Longoria who laid down a bunt, first time since like 2014 or whatever that stat was. Trev was texting. He was all excited about it because in Longoria's next at bat, Young's playing him in for the bunt. So like they're just snaking him to death offensively. It's worked this series. And what happened those first couple games with Phillies, but stolen bases weren't high. They still snaked him to death with just running. Longoria scores on a single from second. They got him playing like he's 10 years younger than himself, which is cool. That hot shot right to his face.
Never a doubt. Never a doubt. Yeah, man, he's got that juice of holy crap. We're here. I'm in it. Let's do it. And yeah, there's something to, and let's see how the rest of this series goes. And that snake style of baseball, we've been talking about it, but it almost feels like it leads to big innings because Jim, we've talked a lot about situational hitting this year here and mostly in a negative way at Talkin Yanks. Baseball is going to make a turn where everyone fought back and was like, no, you can't just try to hit singles the other way. No, you can. And when the Snakes bunt a runner over, their intention is now get a base hit because that scores a run. And when they get that base hit, now you've scored a run and you've got a runner on first. So it sets up that big inning that I think this snake style of baseball is going to come back to baseball in a big way, which is awesome. They bunt a little too much, but it works for them. Like if they had more star players, they wouldn't necessarily be bunting this much, but it's perfect for this team.
The Guardians, the 2022 Guardians are probably like, shit.
Yeah.
That was her whole identity. It's stolen.
And they had a much better year. So, and I don't know. I think the other thing that goes in with that, and this isn't situational hitting, it's just kind of a Snake's philosophy, is contact itself. Jordan Montgomery with 0 strikeouts. I know he definitely didn't look his sharpest. Early on, he looked pretty good. I mean, he was both starting pitchers were dominant through the first 3 innings. A lot of early, weak contact outs. No strikeouts, and I mean, we're not even close to like a pitch tipping situation. It felt like he didn't have his best curveball or changeup, which when Monty's good, one of those turns into kind of his strikeout pitch. But they were putting everything in play, which at some point turns into a bend, don't break situation. And eventually it kind of broke. But all of that is also with the backdrop of Merrill Kelly full-blown shutting down the Texas Rangers lineup. Because otherwise we'd be talking about, if Merrill Kelly gives up 4, we could be talking about how the Rangers were up 4-2 going into the 7th inning.
I want to get to Merrill Kelly, but since you started with Monty, I believe Rosenthal came on and said, his fastball is 2 ticks down. All of his pitches were down. I believe all their hits came off sinkers or one was a 4-seam. But I believe all their hits came off the sinker, which was ticked down. So, but also with the other pitches not being as sharp, then you can just kind of sit on that. But the home runs and big doubles definitely came off singles. I'm trying to remember. There might have been one early that I missed that wasn't a sinker. But
it's a lot of hits, so I don't know.
A lot of hits. Well, how many did Monty give up?
Monty ends up giving up 9.
Bummer.
Crazy.
He they with Monty, he pitched the bullpen in game 7, 30 pitches. So fatigue a little bit set up. I don't know what his rest will be like if he goes again in game 6.
It would be game 6, so I think you end up getting an extra day.
I think you're decent there.
Yeah.
But he still wasn't awful. I mean,
no.
If he comes out in the 6th inning, it's a 2-1 game, and you're like, Monty pitched 6 innings, 2 earned runs. So like to even kind of be talking, he was down. They did give up a lot of hits, but as you and I have been saying, and I've been preaching since 2017, Monty is bend don't break of a pitcher, and I absolutely loved him for that when he was on the Yankees. I'm interested in the 7th inning pitching decisions by I'm interested in the 7th inning pitching decisions by Bochy, and I'm interested in what Texas Rangers fans feel about it, because I don't know if I have strong feelings or not. I was a little surprised to see Monty come back out. I thought he would be batter by batter if he did come back out. First batter gives up a double or he gets Moreno out and then a double.
No, in the 7th, Thomas is his first batter. Or are you talking about the 6th?
No, when did they score?
The 7th. So the 6th was the funky inning. He gets Moreno to pop out first pitch. He gets Walker to pop out in 2 pitches. And then it's the Pham double. They intentionally walk Gurriel and pick off Pham.
Oh, yeah.
So that was the 6th. And then in the 7th,
I'm talking about the
Thomas
7th.
doubles.
Yeah, I'm talking about the 7th inning. Thomas doubles to start the inning. And I thought you'd be doing a batter by batter situation. It's a 2-1 game.
Yeah.
They didn't use Spores in game 1. Correct?
Correct, I believe. I'll double check, but I don't think Spores or Chapman, I know he's not fully in the mix.
Yeah, but I think they got the righties coming up, or Longoria and whatever. But you got Spores there. It's a 2-1 game. He didn't pitch in game 1. You have an off day tomorrow. Instead, they keep Monty in. Longoria singles, the hot shot to third, and then that's another run. And then they bring Heaney in. And I'm like, I don't know. You kind of, I would have went to Spores if it was me, but I don't know how hot I am about that. And I'm interested how hot Rangers fans are or not about the 7th inning pitching changing decisions.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really interesting lane because it's Longoria, Perdomo, Carroll. Although did they keep him in? They kept him in for I just clicked on the wrong box score. Heaney's weird. I think that's a fair statement either way. Like it should probably be a reliever there. Like whether it's Spores or whether it's Chapman, I think you'd want someone coming into that spot. But maybe that's something Bochy had lined up before the game, because we end up seeing it more so later in this game. This game turned into a get your postseason or get your World Series feet wet. But still, that's going to Heaney there seemed like an odd one, especially if you weren't going to let him run.
It's lefties, right? So he wanted to get Marte Marte switch. So Carroll, I don't know. I don't know how upset I am or not upset about, because I also don't think the Rangers can burn their good arms unless they have the lead. That's what I said in the preview. But it was 2-1 when this was kind of happening, and you had a bit of momentum.
Texas fans could scream at me. That feels like a perfect Chapman spot. Like you're down 2.
Oh, okay. I like that.
If you're gonna use a lefty in the 7th inning, if you're trying to spark someone or just find out if Chapman's not going to be a part of this series at all, that feels like the lane, because Perdomo's worse against lefties. Marte is better against lefties, and then it's Corbin Carroll. So that was the 3-batter lane that Heaney came in on. And I guess we were surprised, and maybe this was Bruce Bochy's Heaney tryout, that if you were going to bring Heaney in to a losing effort, because it turns into 4-1 when he gives up the hit to Carroll, I guess we were surprised they didn't leave him out there to do what Martin Perez did at the end of the day, just eat bullets, let's finish this game off. So yeah, I think that's an odd one.
It's either or you. I still don't mind Spores if he's facing Longoria, Perdomo, who's a bunting switch bunter, and Marte.
What'd you have Perdomo as there?
He's a switch bunter, I think. Baseball Reference has him listed as.
He really is. Wild.
Anyway, let's get to the main headline story of this game is Merrill Kelly, who was, man, as crafty, he was very crafty. I won't say what I was going to he was very crafty. I sent the Baseball Savant image to Beebs and everyone was talking about it, but the visual's cool. Like he was where he wanted to be with all his pitches. Like, look at all those cutters right above the zone. And then all that green, yellow, orange, that's all the breaking stuff where the pitches with movement, and those are low. So when he's in the zone, he's doing it carefully with the pitches where he wants them. And then that high middle area where people feast, he doesn't have many there. It was like really, really awesome pitching.
He was dominant. I mean, there's something fun with his pitches. I feel like it's like a skinny peak Lance Lynch a little bit. Like it's a lot of pitches from 88 to 94 with different movements. And then he does drop in that 183 mile per hour slider in there, which he used that strategically well tonight. And man, the pitch he gets beat on is a sinker down and in off the plate that Mitch Garver just drops the bat on and it goes. It was a crazy impressive outing. You've got the infield hit by Young up the middle. You got Evan Carter with his kind of broken bat to center, and that's it. Nate Lowe sent a scary fly ball at one point, but otherwise it was nothing. And man, he threw we've all felt a little lame on the stream when we compare stuff to our blitzball stuff, but we got a blitzball battle coming up. Go check out Warehouse Games if you haven't looked at it. His last pitch, when he struck out, I think it was Jonah Heim, and he ran back that sinker. Oh, my goodness. 3-2 just to dial that up. The dude was in the zone, and I think it was funny. We started doing 89 pitches. You're up 4-1. You used a lot of your bullpen yesterday. We started doing the dance, and remember Merrill Kelly's last time out? There was a little hostility when he came out. It looked like he was kind of happy for the handshake this time. He was good.
He talked about that in his post-game presser. Right. He said, like, paraphrasing, he basically said that where they were at in the game and who they had in the bullpen. Who was his last batter? It was
Heim.
So he's like, so he had an awesome post-game interview. He goes, I struck Heim out, but a lot of those fastballs were running on me. The first pitch, I'm looking at now, first pitch, second pitch, four seam, sinker, outside to the right, arm side, and then the fourth pitch, four seam, arm side. So he said in his post game, that last at bat to Heim ended up striking him out, but really didn't like the way that four seam, my fastball was running arm side. So at that point, when I got to the dugout, I was happy to, say, no, let's go to the pen. So in his head, it was his decision. That's why he's happy about it.
It's fun to be a player sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
He was special. He's been special this whole postseason, man.
It's so funny because he still doesn't think he could have had the best pitches in the world. Lovella was going to take him out.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this guy, he's been dominant. It's funny that Phillies game, I think for everyone that watched, the two pitches that got hit were absolute nukes. It was the Schwarber-Harper show. But this guy's, he has been dominant. And good for him, man. Team USA guy. I think he just turned 35, we were talking about on the broadcast. Getting his roses in the postseason, pretty cool.
I got dogs.
Excuse me.
I have two dogs.
It's true.
Farmer's dog.
What about them?
They're a sponsor. My dogs eat Farmer's Dog.
Yep.
It's cool. Oh my goodness, guy on the screen was just scaring me. 50% off your first box plus free shipping is what you can get at Your Farmer's Dog. It's healthy dog food. Chris Rose loves it.
Yeah.
He's a big fan of it for his dogs. You got it for your dogs. My dogs eat it. I cut the packet right in half and then squeeze it out one side by side. They actually do send my dogs, like Maisie gets one and Matt gets another, which is cool. For a while, I didn't know if it was all Mac, and then I looked. There are some Maces.
You were mad at Noodle for a little bit. I told you Noodles had his name on them, and you were like, I don't know if my pups are getting that. I'm glad they are.
They are. Yeah, maybe they heard me. Anyway, you guys can get bags with your dog's name on them, and you can get it for 50% off your first box plus free shipping. thefarmersdog.com/JohnBoy.
Noodle loves his farmer dog. So do I. We go split sometime.
Ooh.
I guess I maybe a little rapid fire on just some interesting notes from this game before we maybe tee up the third a little bit. Going to Sal Frank was fun. He was kind of put in timeout, and then he comes into the blowout game, gives up a couple rockets, but they're all at people. So that was funny. Trying to think what else. I mean, Tommy Pham's 4 hits. That's pretty crazy. Another trade deadline acquisition gets pulled before he has a chance for the 5th hit. That's kind of tough, Tori. Come on.
There's some funky stuff in this game. But one of the cooler things was one of Tommy Pham's hit looked like it was coming at the camera. Like right at her face, line drive. That was cool. One thing that's not like a silly note, but a good note is Adolis Garcia goes 0 for 3 with a walk. I mean, kind of needed to see. I don't think that makes any difference for game 3. He's still a scary, scary, scary threat. But it's Jordan Montgomery. But like Jordan Montgomery shutting down like Yordan for that series, you kind of just need to see it. Like, can anyone stop him from homering? Like, even can like it happen? Can he not homer once? Is it possible? So it's possible. You aim to do it again. I don't know if you can contain him, but nice to see it in the box score if you're a D-backs fan.
Massive. Him and Seager go hitless today. Simeon really hasn't been a threat. He ends up getting a hit in his last AB there, but the spotlight will start to turn to him a little bit. He's been in a funk. Christian Walker, still some tough at bats, but he ends up getting a hit at the end. Will that spark him? And hey, how about Gabriel Moreno, man? This guy's been batting third. They've kind of been looking for that spot in their lineup. He's 23. Like, he didn't have a crazy regular season. He's a massive lefty-righty splits guy, and he starts this game with a homer, and now I think both of these teams are undefeated when they score the first run in the game, which, I don't know, do with that what you want, but that's this postseason. That's really important. That's really important.
It's a really funny stat considering game 1.
Right.
Like, that doesn't matter anymore, but whatever. It fits the stat. If
6
there was no lead changes, it would be a better stat, which are, for the most part. No, the D-backs have had the most lead change games, I believe.
Of this postseason, yeah. Mostly thanks to themselves. 6 for 14 with runners in scoring position. That's a good formula. The tack-on runs late have to be massively important, that you don't have to sit through some tight Paul Sewald pitches. Texas doesn't have a runner in scoring position at bat until the last batter of the game, which is insane. This was dominant.
So the funky stuff we saw was Walker barehand off the base.
Yeah.
Pham picked off. Maddox called him a dumb fuck. And then the pickoff throw from Frias to Walker, who didn't think that was funny at all.
No. Walker, not a big in-game humor guy.
Which of those 3 did you think was the most like, haha, that's cool?
Ball off the bag.
Or haha, that's fun.
Ball off the bag is always going to win for me.
Yeah.
I just
baseball.
I just think the fact that can change a play entirely.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Obstacles, it's like, it's a gag game. It becomes a gag game. And we're going to put obstacles in the middle of the infield, but obviously they're there for a reason.
It turns into a little more Crash Bandicoot than baseball for like 1 second.
I liked the Tommy Pham pickoff because you just don't think Monty's going to call that on you. Like, I don't really blame Pham that much, although you do. You can't have that happen.
Can't do it.
But, Monty's like a pretty big dog. People have been trying to bunt on him this postseason. It hasn't worked. He's fielded his position, but I don't think he'd ever really be like, this guy's not going to make an athletic move to get me out. It's not like a fear, he's not Stroman or Sonny Gray out there. Just like, boom.
I've flipped. I think he is. I think every player who's gotten away from the Yankees has washed all the bad off of them. I think Monty's a great fielder now. Like, I think that's a Yankees stigma in our head. He's been electric.
I don't even know if he was bad as a Yankee. He might've been fine, but I just think like if you don't have a scouting report on him, Tommy Pham's standing on second, like they're not going to do that.
Right.
It's got some goofy
and then they did it.
Like I can see if you don't have a scouting report.
Man, this game was so quick early, and then it got so slow late for a little bit. Longoria with the bunt, and then he beats Young down the line with a single after that. That's some D-back October Magic BS. I know Trev was blowing up the group chat about that. He'd be mad if we didn't mention that more. And the only other like big thought in my head is Corbin Carroll has never felt like, except I guess Game 7 against Philly, which when you need a guy to show up, he's never felt scary or, Evan Carter went nuts to start. Like Seager and Adolis have been unpitchable. Ketel Marte, NLCS MVP, and like he was nasty. Corbin has never felt that, yet every game he's contributing.
Yeah, I'm having a weird relationship with Corbin Carroll. I don't really get him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I mean, obviously, people that don't understand what I'm saying will be upset because it was vague and not really thought out anyway.
Sure.
But he's obviously a great baseball player.
You're confused by the goatee.
Confused by the goatee.
When he swings and misses ugly, is that throwing you off at all, or do you not care? Okay,
yeah,
that's
because when he
a
swings and hits it, it's so composed.
Right.
He's so fast he never steals. I know he does steal, but like this, like you're doing the stream, so you're not listening to the
right
broadcast, and they're like, well, he's got to go now. They threw over. They were at their limit. They did 2 pickoffs. So he's on his third. It was like a 3-1 pitch. Or maybe a 2-2 pitch, whatever. And, they're like, he's got to go. He didn't even like think. He didn't even do like this thing. It's like, what? And then they're like, what? And then they're like, it was full count. Like, well, now he's got to go. I think he went then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just like kind of a little like, what is this all about? I made this comp on the stream and I don't even know how much I stand by it, but like, he feels like such a robotic brain while he's playing. And I said like Kawhi Leonard, like kind of just like, haha, baseball. Like I play,
right.
I play baseball because he's the most boring interview I've ever heard during a game.
He's there to play ball.
He's like
why?
I'm not here to do, he didn't come to play school.
He will not be in a We Got Ice video. I will stamp that.
It'd be fucking the funniest video if they ever did it. There's no baseball game tomorrow night, but there is a baggage playoff game. Jake and I facing elimination, 6:00 Warehouse Games channel. Team Baggage versus Hook, Line, Sinker. And we need the win. So 6 Eastern, Warehouse Games, Jake and I try not to be pathetic anymore. But I think we covered the game perfectly.
So. We'll see you on the stream Monday night. Talking baseball Monday night.
Whew.
Goodbye. Farewell. So long. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Miss you, Trev.
Get better, Trev.
Jake sucks.
That's something you want to get better at.
There's something he wants to get better at.
Choose some. Get a little better.
Clean shaven right now.